Hello everybody. How's it going? Hello Didi, my love. And hey Bree, good to see you. You're always here so early, it's almost like you just wait here for hours waiting for me to go live. That'd be weird. But thanks for the support. It really does mean a lot to me that you're always here so early. It's going great now that I'm here. Well, thank you. Yeah, we'd never do that, right? Yeah, I've never done the same before. Nope. I've never done that. Legs has never called me out on doing that. I used to do the same thing for the hardcore trio streams. I'd know it was going to be their stream day and I'd have all three pulled up ready to go. Trying to see if I could grab first on all three, but sure enough, someone would always grab one of them. Never did get the hat trick. Oh well. But yeah, things are gonna be different today, as you probably already realize. I've been bored the past few days, so why not hang in chats when streamers aren't there? I mean, hey, you may see some command edits and stuff like that. Who knows? Yeah, Didi's always here. Always watching. But today's gonna be different. Unfortunately, we died last stream. So that's it for hardcore. We're calling it at 928 days. Just over 210 hours spent in the world. And it's a world that means more to me than any other world I've been in or have made myself in Minecraft. And today we're going to take a look at everything that was done and talk about what's in the future. So I'll wait on future plans and all of that until afterwards. That way we've got more people in here. But I think everyone will appreciate the choice. Or choices. And I think everyone's going to enjoy the new series. I know I talked before, I wasn't fully thinking clearly. Last time I talked about doing some polls in Discord for different options on what to do next. I really already had, I didn't, not at that time, but I figured out what I want to do, so there wasn't a necessary for a poll. I may do one anyways, just to kind of get what people's interests are. See if maybe it's worth trying out some new stuff. I know I mentioned the Parasite mod pack. Or I'm fairly certain I did, but that's one that's kind of got my eye. And I'm actually trying to figure out my own mod pack. Nothing too heavy, nothing too crazy on technology for the most part. But trying to find the right mods, and it's going to be 1.16.5. And may turn into a modded series. That I've not gotten planned out or have fully decided on. I just wanted to make a pack that suits me when I'm not in the super technical. Because in that case, like, I might as well just be on Polaris, you know? Vault Hunters has that part. Maybe we should do something with polls in Discord. Yeah. But yeah, I can talk a little bit about that, I guess. Like, the idea is just to have a close to vanilla experience for the most part. It's going to be based off of Biomes of Plenty. It's going to have a lot of the Macaw's mods for furniture and bridges and stuff like that. So it will definitely have the more modded look instead of the vanilla. Beautiful, but still blocky. So we'll have a little more options on things of that nature. I am choosing one industry mod, and that's going to be Create. And the big part of that is I do want something to make the farms and designing farms, or new things even, but make it easier for us. But also, that's the one that you can actually enjoy looking at more so. It's actually moving. You're making a factory, you're making a machine. It's not just... I don't know, some of the other mods just, yeah, they're really powerful, but there's just not quite as many visuals. It handles everything more internally, I guess. So we'll be able to incorporate that into builds, and I don't know, we may end up just using it cosmetically. We've got that option too. It also lets you do working windmills, which is something I've always wanted in Minecraft. But then there's going to be the option, or some stuff for better looking mobs and more creatures. Not creatures necessarily, but more animals. Just to make the world more lively. So it's going to be... I mean, that kind of gives you the idea. I kind of want to stay within the, like, age, the, like, technological age of Minecraft, and not go too crazy adding all sorts of stuff. And the goal is to keep it under 50. No more than 50 mods. I think I'm kind of have close to what I want, and it's more like 30 right now, so I'm actually shooting way under. I mean, the lighter the mod pack, the less likely to have crashes and conflicts and all sorts of those horrible things. So, more on that later. That's not the new plans that's going to be happening Thursday. This is like something more in the future. Today, though, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the world and kind of go over, as much as I can remember, kind of the story of how everything came to be and plans on projects we wanted to do, and kind of backstory on the world. Oh, well, thank you, Yummy. Yeah, that one didn't hit me that hard on stream, but that one got to me. That one really got to me. And then, that interruption that one could possibly say timed interruption for my soon-to-be ex-wife. That wasn't necessary, or I could have been told before stream started that there was something wrong with what was my dog. Those interruptions won't be occurring anymore. They've not been that bad until now, but they have been frequent, and I think a lot of you have seen it and felt the tension. So that won't be happening anymore. But yeah, I guess it's not my fault, but I still feel the need to just say sorry about that ended things so early because of that. But we got some people hanging out. Why don't we go ahead and jump over into the world? Oh, I said there we no. Will you unpause? Thank you. Hello. Nope. There we go. Hello. Yes, I am. So while we're doing the world tour today, I'm also going to be recording using replay mod. And hopefully everything goes smoothly, and if so, then I'll be able to do a cool cinematic world tour later. So if everything goes well, then by the time this video goes live on YouTube, there will also be a cinematic, a kind of more condensed version of it. So we'll see about that, but that is the current plans. But I'm here outside the starter house. We traveled like 3,000 blocks or so away from where we started and found all the wood types on the way and landed here on this peninsula that we planned to cut off with the wall. So it would actually be completely separate from the land, and well, I just never could come up with a design, so that never happened. But I'm right here outside the starter house we made. Day 2, I believe. And I've already added things back the way they used to be, more or less. Our enchanting table and bookshelves and the chest that we had lapis in and our grinding stone. And the bed was already here. Is okay, you're doing really awesome now. I have a wonderful lady backing you up. Yes, I do. You've also got lots of friends to help as well. I hope you count me as one. Of course I do, Yummy. Of course I do. A lot of y'all are the reason why I've been able to make such drastic changes. But yeah, this is just our starter, and I know we went over this last time, but with the interruption and all, this is our starter storage area. And, you know, no, maybe I shouldn't. Like, I kind of want to turn shaders on, but I'm a little concerned about crashes right now, so maybe not. We can take a look with shaders later. But yeah, we fueled everything up with these and spent a lot of time going up and down chopping the trees. Had our little garden here that used to have a bunch of crops, but now it's just a couple some pumpkins and melons and our cocoa beans. And never did like the way this looked. It was temporary. The whole walkway and stairway and all that, like, it's laid out where it needs to go more or less, but it's just not, never really liked the look. Never finished it either. But one of the first projects we did was our lookout tower, which also housed our first nether portal, which is right down there. It's still there if we want to move the one block and reignite it. It's just not needed anymore, so we disabled it. Spent many nights up here AFKing, because if you get right here, you can AFK everything. I mean, that was before we changed world spawn to here. Now that world spawn's here, then everything will just keep running. Yeah, it was really nice to kind of end our streams here, overseeing the land and seeing what changes we've made. And this wasn't here yet. We're still early on in the series. And we got this wheat-filled planet. And our mine, which I always wanted to do something a little bit better. I finally did. But still would like to do upgrade this part at least. And really don't need to show things off, but you guys have seen it. I'm not so desperate to stretch time out that we're going to go check out my strip mines. Then the iron farm. Four of Abramance's iron towers. Without the trading option, because we weren't worried about that. With my own little spin on it. Everything comes in, all the poppies get turned into bone meal. Everything else gets loaded into here. Starting from the outsides, working their way in, but we used it so much for trading. That's how we were getting all of our levels, how we were repairing our equipment was almost entirely out of this. But over here, we have probably an overly complicated redstone design, because I'm not the best, but I'm pretty good at it, I'd say. This just detects what time of day it is, and once it gets to a certain point at night, it lets the zombies drop down so all the villagers up there can sleep. And keeps the farm running strong and resets it. And we got everything going off of this villager breeder right here, still with dudes waiting to be given professions or do something with. Yeah, overcomplicated's kind of my brand. But yeah, this powered that, powered this. Had plans to do more and we just never got around to it. And then an early redemption in the world from the face of Dave. We have the cliff face of Dave. First time really doing a larger cliff that gave me more room to work with, and pretty happy with it. Oh, and here's where we marked out the wall that we were going to build, and I think there's even still materials in it. Yep. Nothing super valuable, but we still have materials in there waiting for me to come up with some sort of design. Welcome back. I guess next up we can look at... I had a name for this at one point. I don't remember what it was. The auditorium or something? I can't remember. Not the auditorium. Yeah, old Greek schools, ancient Greek schools. I can't remember the name. Anyways, this is where we've got all of our librarians for almost all the enchantments. We're missing a few that we weren't quite worried about. And then the plan was to use the cartographers here for glass trades, but never did get around to converting anybody, so never really worked out the best. Can't decide to add Cajun spices or for a more Mexican vibe. I mean, I love me some Cajun personally, but all of it sounds real good. And let's go up. Kind of zip around some. Our mob farm. version 2.0, because version 1 had a big mistake. Version 1, and you can still see the remnants of it, I built water streams on each level going into the center, instead of just one water stream at the bottom and letting everything fall down. So we were having a lot more things die from fall damage. So kind of messed up there. We had to fix that. And then I guess this would be like kind of the second improvement, because then I added redstone lamps so we can actually turn it off. Well, thanks for the biddies, Yummy. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's a decent mob farm. It's definitely not the best, but it runs. With a sorting system we even added. And we've been grabbing stuff out of it a lot, but yeah, really, I don't think most of these got past the first chest. Other than the random stuff, yeah. Maybe the gunpowder at some point and the rotten flesh, but we grabbed all of that at some point. Probably whenever I made the, like, almost double chest full of rockets before we fought the dragon. You know, like, what was that, around day 700? And yes, I know, I said this was hardcore, and it is our hardcore world, and I'm just flying around in creative. I think everyone understands, though. Oh, never did finish planning that. Well, that's sad. I like the slow pace, okay? I really enjoyed it, too. Oh. Our first well, I think I may have nudged it over, but Hey Spud, I died last stream, so I'm doing a world tour this time and going over future plans, and it was very sad. But I know, most people playing hardcore, they just die and go to the next world. And that's what I do normally. We may talk a little bit, but we end up just going to the next world, keep on keeping on, you know, rolling it back. But I just can't do the same with this one. As much time as we spent and as much as this world really means to me and means to Didi, like, I can't. Like, this was all a way of me escaping and coping with my situation in life at the time when I started streaming even. And then this one kind of went further. This is where I got to know Didi, and we got to know each other really well over conversations of me working on things, streaming, and like that means a lot to both of us. And there's a lot of me, with the tree specifically, was me coping with the end of my marriage and how that was going. So there's just too much that means that there's just too much in this this world that just means too much to just throw it away. And we'll get back to that later. But one thing is we just have too much that's unfinished. I never did finish this farmhouse. I needed to decorate it and actually do something with the interior. I guess you can see we didn't finish putting all of our farmland in. Never finished the boathouse either. We did finish this though. Our pumpkin and melon farm. There we go. Yes, there is a way. And if y'all remember correctly, we were just finishing up the second layer of this when my computer crashed. And when we got back, we had the materials for a third layer. Hey, Soul. You could say that, yeah. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to do a proper world tour after it happened, so spending some time on that today. Then go into future plans, and yeah, should be a good time. Good, well, maybe emotional for me, but anyways, as I was saying, got 2 layers of this built. Computer crash, got back, there was enough for a third layer, and I said, you know what? If it was other things, maybe we'd do it different, but it's a pumpkin melon farm. Let's just go ahead and add a third layer. But before some of this was there, we had the lighthouse. That was the first huge project for this world. That's when we moved the nether portal over here, once we were using it as a base. Was it 5 layers of storage? Our brewing room. When we moved our enchanting setup. Oh, we did have a crafting table over there. I forgot to put that back. Not that we really use that anymore. The float of Dave. 2 of our 3 dragon heads, because I kind of botched one and it went into the abyss. And our dragon egg. Kind of want to do something better though, you know? And then this was more a recent addition, but our little balconies here. So we can actually land and don't have to take all that time we just took going up and down just to go from portal to portal or whatever. I got a private stream for the brewing room. True you did. And the lights seem to be messing up a little bit, but it's a fairly simple clock here. Just has some items going through. Though they're kind of backed up right now. That took a few streams though to get up, to finally have it built. Then our dock and our boathouse, which again is empty. Wanted to like kind of set up a store or something in here, but never got around to it. But it's enough. It's finished enough on the outside. It's just missing details, so. Oh yeah, there was a lot of crying on both sides later that day. I was kind of in the shock of it for a while there. Our animals. Trusty steed that we got in the desert. Hey Soul, I found you. And of course, you had to play along with that, so you redeemed DJ, the mule. Then we have our mushroom cows. Granberry and Granberry and Granberry Cow Jr. This is where we had all of our livestock separated, but we just got to the point we didn't really need them. We didn't need any cows for meat, really, because we didn't need pigs or chickens, so we ended up moving these guys into here, and just don't really need livestock as much once you can do golden carrots all the time. And our wool farm. Using the custom armor stand mod to turn item frames invisible and lock them in place, which allowed me to put a block where they were at, which gives you this really cool floating block of wool trick. And it's going to be hard to see. You may have just seen it there, that the sheep was purple, but it gave orange wool. They're all Jeb sheep, so they're all going to be rainbows. I can't remember actually what that does. And then the even better part, our storage. Doing the same trick up there to add the blocks of the wool on the hopper, and then the wool itself underneath to show the color. Unfortunately, a lot of our AFKing only had this side here loaded, so we've got a lot more wool of these than these. Again, that was before we changed where world spawn is. I think world spawn's now in the farmhouse, so everything will stay loaded and everything can actually function. That was the plan. In fact, if I land and come in here, remember, this was empty. This was empty, and then we went back. So this is definitely getting iron. It's generating a lot more. And that's about it. We also have a few named animals here. Kaizu. And Doodles. Yes. Yes, exactly. When you're able to, build your redstone machines and farms within the borders of one chunk. Hold F3, press G, and you'll see the chunk borders. This is how the game loads things. So you can see everything within this box I'm standing in will load in at once. If your farm is over the border, there's going to be times where only part of it's loaded, and that can mess up things. It can also mess up your efficiency, so keep that in mind. F3 plus G. There's your little lesson for the day. Oh, and there's one more. Unique. Who I think was the first one to do a name it redemption. And this is where we ended up. Right next to a bastion. Nothing too crazy or anything. Kind of ignored it for the most part. Didn't really spend a lot of time in the nether. We just really spent the least amount possible. We did go down here somewhere, I thought. Ah, there it is. Down where we were using beds to blow up the nether. And sadly, didn't really get all that much. I mean, we've got the... Oh, jeez. We got the armor we're wearing. And, what, one tool, I think it was? So that's kind of it. No, that's not where I'm trying to go. Here we go. We'll just fly through the world here. Alright, I'm starting to get annoyed. There we go. Yeah, not really a whole lot to show off. We've got portals going to all of our main places on the roof. As you just saw as I exited there. But that's kind of it for here. Oh. Ah, they are there. Our little turtle sanctuary. It was never a pretty build. It was just done because we needed, Oh, I can't... I think we were trying to do potions. Yeah, I think we were doing the turtle potions for extra defense or something. But this world is crazy. And what I mean is... Water Temple. Or Guardian Temple. There's one here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We found 20 Guardian Temples. That's kind of ridiculous. We also didn't realize that there was even this mushroom island here, because we had hugged the coast so much thinking this was just open water, that we just never realized that we actually had one right in the middle. Well, see, I kept, Bree, I kept waiting to find one that was closer, like maybe these two here would work, but to be close enough to have both going. Hey Doodles, good to see ya. Oh, and our first and only desert for the longest time is this little pathetic strip. Not much longer than my base itself. Maybe not quite twice. Hey Bloody, good to see you, dude. But for the little bit of sand and stuff we needed, that worked. And mainly it was the cactus. We were really needing cactus for green dye. Always meant to dye up the shulkers, and I did it on Polaris and then kept forgetting to do that here. Well guys, there's not much more to say about this area, I don't believe. I mean, we did have some other plans. I leveled this out to do a stonemason's hut or building. That never happened. The wall was never built. And the barracks with the archery range, that also just never came together. But I decided a while back that as much as I wanted to do those there, I didn't want to have that many villagers. We already had so many here that kind of just didn't want to add more to it. It would just create too much lag. Let's see. Nope. Wrong button. Eventually we did go north far enough that we found this huge expanse of deserts and mesa islands, so that was really cool. That's powered a lot. Realizes I'm not safe anywhere. Like, I found this pillager outpost. I don't know if I even showed you guys. It's actually right next to a 2x2 slime chunk, but I didn't like that, so I did find this other one. But then El Mango posted a video about using a swamp-based slime farm. And I thought, well, we already are building a huge build in the swamp. Why don't we just build it inside? And I know, I am taking the long way here. I guess I could do this, at least. Hello. This will just take a while. I'll just run on over. But yeah, I know this is, for those of you who didn't hear me say it earlier, I know this is not hardcore at this point. I'm in creative, going between it and spectator. We were interrupted when I tried to do the world tour last stream. And this world holds too much sentimental value to skip that. Have a good lurk, Doodles. So we get to the tree build. I built this in creative. Because my marriage was over. I was stuck living with her family, and I needed a way to escape. And kind of expressed how I felt about the whole thing by making this rotten, destroyed tree, still living, but it's just a stump. Of course, we never did get to finish all of that. I don't know if this will show. I don't think this is going to show in replay mod, but we'll try it. No. Rendering on. Oh. Well, I can't show off the render, unfortunately, and I know why. I'll get to that later. I will get to that later. And then originally I designed like an evil fortress kind of to be built inside, and we're kind of doing that. Just with redstone machines. So the first thing was this moss farm. A huge improvement over the one we built in the last world. Fully self-sufficient. It stays stock on moss pretty quickly. We don't have a huge storage for the moss though. Just these 4 double chests. Everything else gets turned into bone meal. And now I have all of the bone meal going to here. We also have a cactus farm that also sends all the bone meal to here, but after it's filled, 2 double chests of cactus. That way we can turn it into green dye as we need to. And then all the bone meal from both going into here. Now, if this were to back up, because this farm will turn off if it gets too full, this farm will not. So I have anything extra is just going to go sliding across this water stream back there. Yeah, you can see the water right there. And into the lava. And then this slime farm is quite efficient. I really am enjoying it. And last stream we piped everything over, up, and into this storage. That way we can access everything here. We can get our moss, our bone meal, our cactus, and our slime. And we didn't have much in it when we built this. And we've not AFK'd at all. Actually up in the AFK spot up there, that big chunk of glass. So I think it's running pretty well. We do have everything lit up here, so we're not getting mob spawns anywhere. So that is good. And when I was first starting this build, we actually got a skeleton horse trap. And we got Boney M. And these 2 have not been named. They were never redeemed for it. So we got 2 unnamed skeletal horses. Now, this tree is currently at 100, I believe. Yes. It's up to Y100. And it actually goes up to 217. I don't know why I previously stated that we were about halfway done. I was just doing the math and not realizing where our starting point is. Because the tree actually starts at 62. 63, I think, even in some places, yeah. So we only went up 37 blocks. And now we've got 117 to go. But I spent a good... if you look back in my Discord or Havoc's, I think those were the main 2 I was posting things in, but you can see the progress I was making on the build and when that took place, so you can see just how much time I was putting into it. I would love not to have that same reason to do it, but I would love to be able to spend time like this designing huge, beautiful things and bringing them to life. I don't have the time to do it quickly and regularly. So I don't know when the next giant super build's gonna come to mind and be built, but I know there will be more. There definitely will be more. Oh yeah, so many hours. So many hours. 210 for the whole world. I think that may be one of the most hours I've spent myself in a Minecraft world. I tend to jump through them quite often. I've got a folder of save creative worlds for either building or for redstone. Got a lot of worlds saved. I also used to make some Minecraft games, mini games. Back before the Placators were the Placators, we were all part of a different organization. And it was very much driven by weekly gaming events, competitive gaming events. So to make Minecraft work for the organization, a lot of us started making our own mini-games to play at those events. Things like Bed Wars type things. That's where Chunk Wars kind of came about with all blocks, all your blocks. Vane made a few. There were several of us that were making them. Well, welcome in, Rar. Thank you very much for the follow. I am Viperius. And sadly, you've missed most of the world tour. We kind of covered most everything, other than a little bit on the nether roof. But thank you for the lurk. But yeah, I've even made one game. I don't think it was as big of a hit, and I feel like it wasn't as finished as some of my friends' games. But yeah, it was a go at least. It was a go. And we hadn't even fought the dragon yet, but I had this going. Our own gold farm, accompanied by a piglin bartering setup and automatic sorting of storage. This bit just doesn't really work as well as I'd like it to. I always plan to come back in and do one of the ice and slime block ones that just pushes the items over, but just never got to it. Well, hello, Christine. Thanks for stopping by. The Stump of Doom. But yeah, this has been working out quite well. As you can see, like, I've already gotten rid of a lot, and it fills up pretty quickly. And more recently, we got these guys over here and leveled them all the way so we could buy experience potions and redstone. And then our actual farm, which I originally had built the platform here, and it would have cut into past the roof, and we were going to have to do a big dig project. If you look at the mini-map, actually, you can see it. You can see that quarter of a circle, and then a line going to where I'm at now. We were starting to do it, and then Havoc dropped by, and he's like, you know you can just, like, lift your AFK farm, or the AFK spot higher, and then you don't have to worry about all of that, and you'll save so much time. And I was going to be stubborn. I was like, no, this is the way I want to do it. But then I realized, you got a good point. And it does. It runs really well. We get lots of gold, lots of the rotten flesh that we can trade to the clerics. And you know what? I'm going to turn shaders on for this part too. I've always loved gold farms with shaders. Just the bright glowing is amazing. Well, I always try to be stubborn at the very least. Oh, there we go. And there is actually one last thing to check out. Nothing was built there, unfortunately. And I know, it took me forever. There are people that would have had this... Oh! Creative mode. Dang it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Luckily, I have turned down how bad the effect is, but... Okay, this side. We got really lucky. It took us forever to actually do it. It was, what, day 700 or something like that, and I was months behind when I was going to do it. But we did. We finally fought the dragon and killed him. Never had the need to actually dig out to have the weather chamber there. But this was the amazing part of it all. The dragon fight went smooth. It was quick, it was easy. We got that done and dusted. And then we went here and immediately had our wings. Immediately had our wings. I had so much preparation and boop, killed, wings, done. Okay, I couldn't just let it go there. I wanted to have like a stack of shulker shells, and I wanted to have some backup wings. So we headed, I believe, east. Let's see if we can tell. Yes. We headed east and quickly found 2 more ships. I think we were done within an hour. It was kind of crazy. And that's kind of it, guys. The plan was to kill the dragon 19 more times to open up the rest of these portals, and then cover the entire thing in glass to stop Endermen from spawning, eventually building our Ender here. But that did kind of get delayed, and then I was just about to just go build a standard Ender when I died. And where do I end up? I actually slept here last time. And that kind of concludes the world tour. And kind of perfect timing, because it is time for a break. So give me 5 to 10 minutes, go stretch your legs or get what you need to get, and I'll be back for more talking and hanging out. See you soon. Hello everybody, I'm back. Hope you have a good lurk, Bowser. Why did I call you Bowser? I always call you Bloody. That felt weird. Well, have a good lurk, dude. Yeah, that was the world tour. That was a really sad loss. But it's not over. I've told you all how much this world means to me. We've got big plans. We've got to finish building the tree. We still need to do the end build, which I wanted to do a base out there. Maybe that will wait for something else. But I'll at least do the end island like I wanted to do. Clean up what's left of the starting area. So there's still a lot to do here. So I'll be back in this world, but it's not going to be hardcore. It's going to be survival, and I'm calling it After Hardcore. So I should be doing that on Thursday, which Thursday times have changed, and I did go ahead and add Tuesday back to the schedule. That was just supposed to be trying to just delete that one I knew I was missing. But new schedule, all the streams are going to be at 7:30 Central US time. That's 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be the same days, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. At this time, Tuesday is still going to be Polaris. And I said Thursday, that we'd be back Thursday. Actually, that's not the case. My apologies. This next Thursday is going to be Polaris also, to try to make up for missing it twice now. Wanted to do kind of focus on it a little bit more. And then we'll be back on this world the following Sunday. So, next Sunday. But we'll be in survival. And again, we're going to call that After Hardcore. So you're still going to be able to see me do all the builds that we've done, finish things, finish the projects. I'm still going to be at the same pace and still going to focus on not dying. But that's just how I play. So hopefully everyone's cool with that. If not, I'm sorry. But we are going to switch to survival and not say goodbye to hardcore, but we're going to take a break from it. We'll be back later. Probably 119 once they've kind of sorted it out more. But really, I don't know. 119 just doesn't really have anything that great appeal for hardcore for me. Like, I don't have any desire to try to take on the Warden in hardcore. There's not even a real prize for it, so that's just something I'm not interested in. So I don't know. But we're going to keep doing the same old of just taking our time building things and focus on that. And hopefully everyone's okay with that. I do have some new plans for the world. A lot of them need to still be designed and worked out. But one of the big things I'd like to do is to build some sort of I'm thinking like the ancient like Greek temple, open air temples. Something like that, or some sort of hall, or something to be able to put our trophies in for people to redeem for armor stands and a way to say thank you for everyone that's been supporting. No idea what it's going to be exactly, but that is going to be kind of moved up the list to figure out. And I don't know, I may do some streams in creative working on that or other projects. Because some of you have been interested in how I come up with the idea, or at least how I design things, so do some creative builds too. Doesn't have to always be hardcore or survival. But I also want to play around with some other formats. Again, I've mentioned it already, but Parasite's one that's really got my interest. But the format of the 100 Days In, I think I'd like to try some of those challenges out. And those do make some pretty good YouTube videos. I would like to do more with replay mod, not just world tour stuff, but just use it more regularly, which does mean more editing. I would expect that kind of stuff to happen infrequently at first, or sparingly at first, but hopefully as time goes on and other things kind of, or more time frees up, we'll be able to do more. We'll be able to have more, or better, not better, more time on post-production, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You like the shorts? Yeah, I know right now we're uploading VODs and clips, and neither of those really fit into YouTube, because for some reason the clips don't count as shorts. Maybe I just haven't figured that part out. Well, I read that, and then I looked at this screen, and because it's cutting my legs off, it almost does make it look like I have jean shorts on after reading that. And I do have a pair of blue jean shorts. But yeah, I'd like to start to up the value of the YouTube production. Again, things are going to have to kind of free up for that. Some of it we'll be able to do more or sooner. As you know, with YouTube, there tends to be a little more planning and scripting. Since it's not just what's happening now, you actually have to plan what's going to happen to some extent. Some of that's going to be live on Twitch. Some of that's going to be off stream entirely. And you'll just have to wait for the video. I mean, who knows? There may be, even if that's the case, there may be some like long, grindy projects that will warrant doing a stream so people can kind of take a look and get a sneak peek. But we gotta figure out why we're not able to have those as shorts when they're under a minute, so it should work. Probably just... I'm just not used to YouTube Shorts. It wasn't a thing when I was doing YouTube at first. But the length of the streams just really don't help on YouTube. They're just way too long. Most people aren't going to spend that amount of time unless they already watch you. So being able to cut those down into smaller chunks, or adding in time lapses and things like that. So really going to be using Replay Mod a lot. Some how-to videos for us newbies. Yeah. Yeah. That's an idea also. That is one I'd considered. Hadn't decided against yet, but it is one I considered. I feel like it is something that's kind of been done a lot, but there's always new ways to do it, so... we'll definitely have to consider that. Oh, you and me both, Didi. I'm gonna have to get better at it too. You really want to build my wool farm? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I could do, some how-to builds on builds I've done. That's definitely a good idea. Oh, that's no problem, Yummy. I would like to break things. If I'm going to do a video like that, I'm going to break it down to where you don't need knowledge of redstone. Just turn on the video. I can go over exactly why things work the way they do. Heck, if I'm going to do that, I can even add the sections to the videos so you can skip ahead if you already know that part. My idea though on most tutorials is not going to be a block by block, this is how you build a thing. It would be more like providing why things work the way they are, what you need to take into account. Kind of the more general, hey, this is how you build this farm. It may not be the design you're looking for, it may not be how to build this design, but this is how this farm's made. Because a lot of people do just pull up the videos, build the thing as it is, and they don't understand why it works the way it does. I'm still trying to understand stuff because I started on Java. Yeah, I always prefer Java. Yeah, like a lot of people just expect you to know everything already on how all of the redstone works. Which is one of the reasons why I've always enjoyed Mumbo. He will break things down really to the very basic, and has done some really basic tutorials. Your recent death was by drowning? Oh no. I'm sorry, Yummy. Well, my recent death was from belly flopping on the corner of a building, apparently. Or farm, not a building, I suppose, a machine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You finally understood how breaking bedrock works. And a lot of it comes down to, I have watched all the technical videos on a lot of that stuff. Or if I'm getting into that project, then I will watch all the technical videos. That way I know exactly why it's working the way it does, and I can talk about it. And again, just so many people, so many tutorial creators that get into the more complicated stuff forget that people are going to be watching that don't know anything. So you gotta keep that in mind and kind of focus on that a little bit. Yep. So if it goes wrong, you don't know why it worked, so you don't know how to fix it, other than try to recreate it again. But here's the thing. What if you build a design, but it's actually for a slightly older version? I mean, you could always just build it for your current version only, I suppose. Or what happens when you update your world and one of your farms breaks? You've got to then either wait for someone to come out with a video on how to fix it, or if you already understand what changed and how the mechanics changed, then you'll be able to make that fix yourself. But you're going to have to know how the farm works and why it does what it does. That's okay. To be honest, I've only been playing on my laptop for the past 3 or 4 days. It was culture shock learning to use a mouse and keyboard. I used a mouse and a keyboard before I ever touched a controller. Apparently I was like 2.5 maybe, I guess. And was already figuring out how to turn on the computer and run DOS. And pull up a program. At least according to my dad. And he doesn't brag on me, so... if he actually is, it tends to actually be truthful, so... take that with what you will. Exactly, yeah. My dad messed around with ham radio a little bit before me, but got out of it and got rid of everything. So I never really got to enjoy that. I think there was at some point I got to play around with one for just a little bit. Yeah, true, Yummy, true. I lucked out. I really lucked out. Also, my dad needing a work computer also was very fortunate for me. I didn't really get to use that one too much. Well, no. I think I was allowed to run some DOS games back then. But then, what became a recurring trend, as, let's see, my dad would get a new computer, my mom would get his computer. Now they both have one. Then when he would get a new computer, she would get his old one, and then I would get hers. Your first computer was Atari? I don't know if Atari counts as a computer. Well, I've got to see Windows from at least 3.1. But maybe even an earlier version on, and then to what it is now. I kind of got to see that side of things more so. Oh, they did make one? See, I don't know the old systems really, if they weren't Mac and Windows, which I say that, but I can't remember any of the names at the moment. Very clunky. Yeah, all the old ones were though. I mean, hey, at least they don't take up a whole room anymore. Now you can fit one in your pocket. That was back where if you failed to keep your computer cooled, the whole place burned down. Well, if you didn't get things fixed right away. Yeah, that development went really fast. And the faster our technology level grows, it just speeds up more and more and more. I was lucky growing up and being able to use a computer at 2 and 3. Now it's almost expected. Like by 4 or 5, a lot of kids know how to use a smartphone. They can pull up apps. They can purchase things if you have your cards on added to your wallet that's easily accessible. So parents, be careful. Kids don't know money, not when they're that young especially. I mean, you guys have probably heard the story of how Music Man started playing. Hey, Eternus. Good to see you, dude. Oh, good point, Didi. Yeah, eventually, schools are now starting to require laptops, and will require you to purchase a laptop, or I don't know the details, but yeah, now kids are needing laptops for school. Or I didn't get that until college. When I went to Full Sail, they part of the tuition basically was to purchase a laptop. Hey, Cap.
Do you know, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important before.
Good morning, Sabri. Well, everyone's flooding in today. We may, I don't know. We may have to go through a second tour or something. I don't know. Kind of just sit here and talk for a while first, though. Don't have like a whole lot planned today. To be honest, probably not much playing. Oh, thank you, Cap. Thank you very much. The world is not lost. The world is not lost. We are continuing. We're going to continue playing on this world, finishing our projects, and even coming up with new ones. I'm going to call it, or I am calling it, After Hardcore. And we should be back and getting that started next Sunday. For those of you just coming in, the new schedule there's not much change at all. But now, instead of Thursday being the oddball, all the streams will be starting at 7:30 Central US time, 8:30 Eastern. You can check the schedule to get that converted into your local time zone. Ooh, got a meeting with family down in Denver. Cool, Sabri. The Green Mustache route? I don't know what you mean, Eternus. I actually don't know what you mean. Yeah, like, if it's anything about this season, I've missed it. I caught a little bit of Scars at the very beginning, and then I've not seen anything. I really need to binge the recap show. Thanks for the shout out for Eternus. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, back when they were doing the hardcore stuff. Gotcha, gotcha. Unfortunately, you gotta go. Alright. Well, you got the main part, Yummy. We'll be back in this world on Sunday. Hope you have a good day. Oh, it was with Beans and Scar. Okay, okay, I gotcha, I gotcha. You've not been catching much either, Cap. They just started the season over the weekend. Are we talking about the, what is it, Double Life? Yeah, Double Life. So what's the catch to Double Life? How is it different? Like, somebody catch me up on what's going on here. Maybe not who's doing what, but at least... What are the rules? What do I need to know? Oh, you're partnered with somebody, but you don't know who. So it's kind of a social deduction game on top of everything? So it is a social deduction game. And you don't want to give away who you're partnered with, otherwise something could befall both of you. And you get the 3 lives again. Did they stick to just 3 this time, or was it random? Because the last thing I saw, it was random. What was it? 2 to like 7, or was it 1 to 7? I'm gonna have to check that out. Right now, I've been well, one, I got through watching all of Dutch's Parasite videos, doing a 100 days in a Parasite world. Now everyone knows whose partner is who by the end of episode 1. Oh, okay. Okay. And, actually, can I get a shout out for Duchess, please? I know he's not here right now. Only 3 lives and no life trading. What in the world? Stream elements. There we go. Thank you very much. So if you've not seen the videos, you can get to Dutch's YouTube through his Twitch. Click on the link, go to YouTube, watch the Parasite videos. Like, the content is very well done, I would say. The production level's already starting out really good. So yeah, I watched all of them and then wanted more. So he took the idea from, was it Forge Labs? So I went and watched the Forge Labs 100 Days in a Parasite World video. And now I'm currently watching the 100 Days in a Zombie Apocalypse from Forge Labs. Oh, good call. Good call. Fair enough. But yeah, if you don't know Dutch, does the modded Parasite, also plays on the Parasite SMP vanilla server, and is kind of a similar vibe we have here, just a little crazier in a good way, in a party way. So maybe not quite as chill in that regard, but just as enjoyable. Haha! That's awesome. We've had, wait. Oh. Wait. Let me open this up. Well, that's awesome. Trying to just think of other things I wanted to kind of go over with everybody. I can go ahead and back out of there for now. I'm gonna be, like I said, putting together my own mod pack. I don't know if it's something I can release. I think some of the mods don't allow that. At the very least, I can get a list together in case anybody does want to. Want to play it also. It's gonna be 1.16.5. It's going to use Biomes of Plenty for the world generation. And then including things like better animals, dynamic trees, so we'll have better looking animals and more variety. Trees will actually go from saplings and grow up and spread naturally. I'm going to be using the dynamic surroundings. You may have seen this from mouse streams. Really just makes the worlds feel more full. The only industry mod, and it's going to be really hard for anything to like break this rule, is going to be create, because they can do all the industry things, but we actually get nice visuals. And it's one I've wanted to learn better. Gonna be adding some decorative stuff, macaws, mods, bridges, doors, fences, furniture. And the list is already going up pretty quickly because if there's a Biomes of Plenty edition, then I'm grabbing that one also. And we're up to 27 so far, and want to keep it under 50. I really don't know what more we're going to add to this. I did get comfort, so we'll have sleeping bags and hammocks. I wanted to do, if there was something that added more like outdoorsy camping stuff. A better campfire, or I don't know. But if there's something like that, then I may add that into it. Tents would be nice, because tents are kind of annoying. Although, I'll have to see, Macaw's Roofs may have a tent option that we could just use that instead. So I'll actually have to open up the mod and take a look. But the idea is kind of to keep it vanilla-ish, or at least the same kind of feel for it. We want a wonderful, beautiful world to go explore and build in, just like vanilla. We're just amping it up. Yeah, I can't really think of too many more that I would be using. But hopefully this will give us a new world to build in, and it not be a super laggy modded world, because that can happen really quickly with some of them. I think they've all gotten better over the years at that, but just the nature of a lot of them, it's going to get laggy, just the amount of numbers that are being ran. And that's kind of what it comes down to at the end of it. Exactly, so I'm trying to avoid crashes. I love Vault Hunters, but it does have a tendency to crash. And it's not the only one. It's not just Vault Hunters. It's any of the really large mod packs, the 200 plus mod packs. When you throw that many mods into it, you don't know how things are going to interact with each other. Now, they've gotten a lot better than it was 5-10 years ago. But it still happens, and when that happens, it can mess up the VOD, so we don't get to rely on that recording. And it would mess up if I was recording it locally. It would mess that up also, the way I do have it set up. And really, we've got everything back to where it's really just Vault Hunters and then running shaders too long. So there's definitely something temperature going on with the computer. And I think a big part of that is just adding some additional case fans. Right now I've got 2 in the front and a small one in the back. 2 120s and a small one in the back. I think they're 120s, yeah. And I just need to pick up another 2 probably. Just to get more cool air, or draw more cool air into it. Or I may actually put them on the top where you could put a radiator and instead have it vent out more. At this exact time, I can't remember which is better for dust or not, but I gotta really keep that in mind with the with cats in the house, and it's not like things are set up in a private office that would be more or less for free. Yeah. So you just kind of need to be more careful of that, because you can kind of mess things up in that sense when you start just adding extra fans willy-nilly. And thank you everybody for sticking around despite all of the admittingly disgusting noises that occur in the background sometimes. Everyone's been so understanding, and you do get that it's out of my hands right now. The sooner I can get my own place, the sooner we'll get back to clean audio without so much in the background. Actually, probably even better. Yeah, it is what it is. Like Lomaine's like my brother. Like, we've known each other for almost 20 years at this point. Like, we both have been through some shit. Lost a parent or parents. So, like, I'm not blaming them or anything. It's just I can't wait to be at the point that I'm fully controlling the audio again. You guys know I like to fully control everything. To a ridiculous point sometimes. It's been a lot of me learning to let go with, like, Didi taking on so much as a super mod and really helping a lot behind the scenes, which maybe I don't rely on my mods enough or don't give them enough access to things, which, I mean, for the mods that are listening or watch later, probably need to get together with everybody. Not immediately, but sometime in the future, the somewhat near future, and actually start having a mod meeting from now and then, and every now and then, to kind of just like touch base and see where we're going. Yeah, true. But hey, at least I have high standards too. That's kind of where the control freak part comes from. I mean, I want studio clean audio, but I'm not in a studio. So of course I'm having some issues. That's like, you can't expect that to just be in any house. Like, that's got to be something that you have permission to actually essentially build a studio in your house. Getting the right soundproofing and padding and everything else to block out noise outside the studio and get your acoustics correct. And then if you're living with somebody, or if you have an apartment, you may not be able to do that. I was lucky that in the mobile home, my computer was in the closet. It doesn't really sound like a lucky thing. But my computer was in the closet. So I had a, like, you know, a swivel office chair. And if I'm at my computer and I turned all the way around, I'd be facing my side of the bed. It was right there. I could pretty much just slide out of the chair. So what that meant was that there were clothes on both sides of my computer and monitors, which really helped a lot with the audio. The amount of pillows and blankets in the room or covering the windows, and just the amount of different furniture in that room, it really helped provide a more dead audio environment, which was kind of nice. So it wasn't quite studio, but it was pretty good. Where this room, and Lomain and I talked about this, is just one of those things we each have to figure out our way to overcome, but it's hardwood floors, and there's no doors cutting it off from the rest of the house, so you've got, well, a door into the kitchen that stays open. It's one of those sliding hidden doors where it just hides in the wall, or the door frame rather. And then it goes down into, going back the other way, there's a hallway, there's a living room. So there's not a lot of stuff blocking audio or echoes from elsewhere in the house. And having hardwood floors in the house, of course, produces more echoes. So I'm, if anyone cares, I'm just using filters right now and a nice microphone with the gain turned all the way down, which will unfortunately mean my voice is not as rich as it would be if I turned it up. But it does help cut back some of the background audio. And then I've got the same filters I was using before. And maybe I need to readjust things more. I've not really done a proper audio adjustment since I've been here. But right now it mainly cuts some of the quieter bits and keeps me from hitting 0 decibels. So it doesn't, the audio doesn't get loud and break. And that's all I use. Where Lomain has a different method in using... He's kind of going, if you've heard Dave go over how he does his audio, how everything's split off into different sources, it's kind of similar. It's the same principle. But he has his own way of doing it with his own filters and software. So we're both like trying to get each find our own way of getting around the issue at hand. And that is something I'd like to do to some extent myself. It would just give us a little more control. For instance, taking the Windows alerts, getting that audio out of the stream would be lovely. Just because I get deafened by them sometimes doesn't mean the rest of you would like to be. But I know that that's when things get more complicated and things can start breaking more. So I've been hesitant to do that. And also want to do a revamp of my scenes. The different overlays. This was like the kind of the quickest one I liked. But I don't know, it's never quite entirely fit me either. Though we did grab the color from it. But, yeah, that's something that's, again, not soon, but could be. But I'll be looking to do a pass on some of the older assets we're using like that. Since we already have updated others and have, like updated the branding pictures and stuff like that. Figured it's just kind of time to take a look at everything. Give it a once over and an update. It's kind of like spring cleaning, but in June? Close enough, right? It's the year of change. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, this year is made... There have been so many changes this year, especially. Sometimes I'm surprised I can keep up with them all, but I am actually, for once. A lot of that's because of all of you. Everyone here on Twitch that's been so friendly, so loving, so supportive. Of course, Didi gets special thanks. But it's been a group effort, even if you didn't know you're helping me. Well, thank you, Maddie. Right? The timing of this song. Well, I'm not sure how long we'll actually be streaming today. It is going to be a shorter stream, but I'm going to go ahead and take one more break and let y'all enjoy Maddie in silence. So be back soon. And I'm back, everybody. What did I miss? Cap's back with coffee. The best part of waking up. Honestly, it's not Folgers in your cup. There is a lot better out there. There is a lot better out there. And I honestly found better coffee just at Walmart. They had... I don't know if they stopped carrying it. I've not been looking for coffee for almost half a year now. No, I guess more like 4 months. But they have one of whole beans. It was a Brazilian strain, I guess. I don't know what you would say when it comes to coffee. But it was really good. And grinding your own coffee, like, in the morning for each cup, or each batch, really makes the difference. Like, I was to the point that, this was back when I was at the call center, I was drinking a whole pot of coffee a day. And probably still getting an energy drink or two. I've not been having the coffee, but since I've been working, I've been drinking a lot of energy drinks. Probably too many. Used to be like that too. Coffee and a smoke even, but quit both years ago. Yeah, now you just do the occasional coffee. Oh yeah, we're not the only coffee addicts out there. There's a lot of other countries that like the coffee. Oh, welcome back. You were in VC with Kaizu. Cool. Time to say hi. Well, welcome back, JD. Yep, that's why I didn't finish that line. Kaizu is awesome. It does amazing artwork. You've cut your copy down to just a mug a day. Yeah. I need to get back into that, which means I need to actually go buy coffee, I guess. Oh, thanks for the shout out for Kaizu. Yes, go follow Kaizu on Twitter. She posts all of her artwork on there. And is getting really, really good with 3D rendering and working with 3D models and getting into animation, I think. Both Kaizu and Doodles are amazing artists that are really, really just blossoming right now. It's been really great seeing them. Seeing them grow to new heights. And yeah, my apologies for the somewhat clickbaity or whatever for today. I said it was a hardcore, and it kind of was, but not. But yeah, I just felt like this world needed one more stream, even if we weren't doing anything. At least to kind of end things off. Do a clear cut on YouTube with the series. And then start next time with After Hardcore and episode 1, even though we'll be over 900 days into it. And I've already been doing things in the world. And why don't we switch back over and I'll show you what I've done so far. So we're right where we left off. I don't want to say hello, I'm in creative right now, I don't want to break anything. I guess the easiest way would be to use spectator for this. So I discussed it quite a while ago. But I've got hoppers now going or grabbing the bone meal out of this chest and this chest. And it's all going this way. And then here I've removed some of the chests, and they have hoppers that are also feeding into an elevator that comes up in the farmhouse. So now all the bone meal that we produce in this area is going to be here. Yes, so many hoppers. But we need the storage. I've got to think, even though there's some things that are going to be really laggy in that sense, it's minimized because there's no open air above them. As much as possible. I made sure to cover it up the tunnel as I was walking out, and this was done in survival. I'm not cheating or anything, or using creative mode to get stuff in. Not furthering our world with creative mode. Hopper, hardly newer. Oh, jeez. But yeah, that is one potential issue this farm could have had. So now all of it will go and get stored. Same thing with this farm. Both of them could potentially fill up with bone meal. So made sure that we've got a lot of storage, and I even left it open right here. We can have it actually go into a system that, or a disposal system, if anything, if it actually backs up this far, we'll have that taken care of. Because we need to make sure, now that world spawn is, I think it's set like right here, actually. Somewhere around here. It's inside this building, I'm fairly certain. Everything's going to be loaded from now on. So we need to make sure that we're kind of conserving our resources here to some extent. Especially when we already have so many villagers here all the time. Maybe not the smartest. We may, I had said this before, maybe we'll end up moving it if it becomes too much of an issue. But we do kind of want to minimize what we're doing here to some extent. So no automatic farms need to be able to back up or back out. That is going to be an issue over here too. And now that we're here, I don't remember what this switch does. What does this switch do? Is this to turn the farm off? Yes. Okay. So that's the, I forgot I installed an on-off switch. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye out. Or maybe pick... You know me, overcomplicating things. Like, do we have it to where if any of them are full, it triggers the shut off? We can complicate it even more than that. At this point, though, we'll just have to keep an eye out. 2 double chests, and they're not filling up super quickly. These we use for beds, so they're missing a lot of what was there. And then these just weren't loaded for a lot of the time. But we'll need to take care of entities where we can so that we're not having too many problems here. That does mean this. Now, before I do this, we do have a couple little spots here. There's one there. And didn't we have a second one? No. Okay, so we've got the one spot here that we can get one more person in. And I don't think there's any that we can get rid of. So I'll have to go through and see what enchantments we're missing. And get that one last one added. Once we're done with that... Oh, what is the magic with the wool in the glass? I'll run back over there in just a second. Basically, once I get done with the last person there, then we'll have no need to add more villagers here. We've got all of ours in there. We'll go ahead and just take this down and get rid of everything there. We won't have any more use for it because we won't want to add more villagers here anymore. So we won't be adding any farmers to this building. I won't be doing the stonemason build here. At least these won't have, if we do something like that, it's not going to have villagers in it. Same thing with the barracks down here. It may be something that we play around with armor stands instead. Speaking of armor stands, so the trick over here is done with the custom armor stand data pack available on Vanilla Tweaks. What I did was put the first block of glass down and then put the item frame on top, put the block of wool in, and then use the custom armor stand book or command to make the item frame invisible and then to lock the item frame. What the locking does is you can't break the item frame at all or get the item off of it. You can't touch it at all. It doesn't count as an entity as far as the game's concerned, so it doesn't use nearly as many resources that item frames normally do. But at that point, you can place another block down and the item frame stays and the block stays. So you can't break them at all. So I'm able to just do glass, and if I had connected textures enabled, then this line wouldn't be here at all. I'm moving my finger there like you can see. But this line that's blocking the view wouldn't be there at all. And you would just see the block itself. I actually need to look into that because I do want to use connected textures. So we'll make that adjustment. And then down here with the actual storage, I use the same trick here to place the item frame against the hopper, added the block, made the frame invisible, locked it, and then I placed the slab. So half of it shows through. And then I tend to organize based on the rainbow. Until you kind of get to these 5. But it's a neat trick. I'm not like... I'm definitely no zombie Cleo, but I know my way around armor stands. Vanilla Tweaks borderless class. I forgot that's an option. Then I'll just have to add that in then. That's simple enough. But yeah, this actually is technically the after hardcore world. I've backed up from the death point, I've backed up the world. So we do have our true hardcore backup save. But then I converted this one over to survival and turned on command so that I can do the tour here, just to make it easier. But we're, again, not going to really be cheating and using creative to our advantage. In fact, I'll still be doing the free cam most of the time. Actually, I don't know. Let me get back to you on that one. It has its uses with seeing things run when I have to be somewhere else, like with an AFK spot on a farm. But there's a lot of times where I think just allowing ourselves to switch to creative or spectator would serve the same purpose and keep the kind of cursed my face inside out right up. So it would just, I think, work out better if we just switch to creative or spectator at that point and hide the HUD kind of like we normally do, and then we can still turn on shaders, so we can still by default it's K, but just hit K and do a nice overview. So actually, ooh, let me go back even further. See, this is so much easier with replay mod, because I don't have to do this myself. I can position the track essentially, but it's post-production. It kind of blows my mind. It's amazing. You've already recorded what's happened. Now you get to choose where the camera goes. Yeah, exactly, Cap. Wait. Tweakaroo has a, like an Optifine zoom key? No. Did I just miss that? Like, not to call you out, but I will look that up right now because I've been using something else for that. I've been using OK Zoomer. Oh. Really? Zoom activate. Okay, I'm going to get rid of OK Zoomer and see if this works. Because if that works just as well as OK Zoomer, then there's no freaking need for it. And that's one less mod. In fact, I think OK Zoomer was the one that gave me trouble when I did the update recently. I think it's the only one that required an older version. When I switched the world over to 18.2. Yeah. I'll go make that adjustment later. Like I said, I'll get rid of the mod first. But, okay. So future plans. I've said a lot of what we aren't going to be doing. What are we going to be doing? I want to finish the fields out more, so there's going to be a lot more fields in this area. I'm not sure about this building. I think I'm going to leave it. I just don't want to overpopulate it with animals. So maybe what we'll do is move our equine friends over here in there and get them out of the rain. And then probably call the herd down to the named ones. So this will be our named stable, essentially. The cats and dogs that we have. Again, the named ones we're going to keep over here. The unnamed ones we're going to have to move somewhere. So I'll just get them to follow me, and maybe we'll get them over at the tree for extra protection. And as long as we've got at least 2 dogs and 2 cats over there, then we can always breed up more animals in case there's redemptions and we need more. So that kind of makes it easy, I guess, for that. But we're going to cut down on some of the entities that we have here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these as well. Just thought about that. Unless y'all are going to miss them. I guess it's not really like taking up too much resources or anything, but it's just, I don't know, a little bit of an eyesore. I just kind of want to focus on finishing this area as much as possible. And then at that point, we really won't be coming back here. We'll be coming back here for resources. And of course, right now, the lighthouses are storage. But I want to change that. I want to start a new base. I would like to, and I've not chosen one yet, but I would like to have an automated sorting, can't speak English, difficult. I'd like to have a storage system that's automatically sorted. And there's many good designs out there, and there's one particular that I can't remember the person's name. So I'll have to go through some lists of mine and find it. But it just kind of had a more elegant style to it that I really liked. Started on technical SMP on Friday, and that was part of the 119 pack they gave me. Went through all the controls and hotkeys for about an hour. Oh wow, I wish someone would have done that with me. I've just like taught myself. Yeah. We get things overcomplicated really easily, and then complicate further. Oh. Not the active window. Now hotkey work. Oh, I'm typing. That's the problem. Thank you. I don't want to overdo it. If I leave them on too long, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be quicker with streaming also, or while streaming also, but it will crash the computer. I think it just starts to get a little too hot. It doesn't help that the video card itself runs hot. Naturally it runs hot. It can still perform very well, but I think that may be part of the issue. And then I've got the choice of customizing and potentially messing up the card to have it work better. Or since we've had trouble with this card's drivers and overheating, getting another card, but that's expensive. And that's not going to be anytime soon. So I've got, for the time being, I'm kind of limited by it, and we're going to have to work our way, or just figure out ways to still do things with that in mind. I don't know if that is part of the Polaris crash. I don't think so, but it may be. The where we're at with it now, or the completed the completed build? Do I need to go over to the swamp, or do I need to jump into the build world? Don't ask you questions. Oh, right. Spectator. There we go. What? Navigating in creative can be difficult sometimes. But I've never had a world that I kept playing on. I always would end up making a new world, and I kind of want to stop that with this one. So we're inside the tree stump right now, the mega tree stump. Thank you for the bits. We've got some farms running. And let me get out here. And we'll turn shaders on even. Now the lights are temporary. I have to spawn proof it because of the farms inside. But this is where we're at so far. This is up to Y100. And the build will go up to 217. So we still have 117 to go. The good thing is that it does get skinnier as it goes up. So we'll be able to start going through layers quicker and quicker. Probably do a lot of moss carpets, especially where there's already moss. I'm not sure. I think we were talking about maybe doing some glow lichen. But I don't want to just spam carpets everywhere. So it's going to be kind of like proper, or like figuring out ways to hide lights here and there. We'll get creative with it. Can also do, if there's any like odd points that are missing, we can throw some brown mushrooms. We learned, because of the slime farm, that brown mushrooms produce one light. So we've got the moss farm here that we built. We've got a cactus farm. And what we're using as like our base of operations now is the roof of the slime farm. Right, creative, not spectator. Which is how it works. Every block here has a light level of 1 because of the mushrooms. So the only thing that can spawn here is slimes, because they're the only hostile mob that can spawn with a above light level 0 when you're in a swamp. Spud, hydrate. You know what? You're right. I do need to hydrate. Wow, Spud. That's another thing that we've been discussing, actually, is coming up with better ways to, giving y'all cooler options to spend your channel points on your Viper eggs. So some of them may be are probably going to be going, some of them may be changing, but we're going to be revamping that. No ETA. I'm talking a lot of the stuff I'm talking about. Some of it could be done immediately. It's just when is their time and when will I be in the right mindset to do it. Because I can't just do some of these things whenever I want to. My mind has to kind of be like in that right gear to do it. So when I am in the, I mean, you guys have seen some of the changes that have occurred in the last few months. When I'm in the right mindset and have given like the space and time to do something, I can get a lot of improvements done right away. And I'm gonna keep doing that and keep doing a lot of work in the background. And not just jumping on streaming and then being done until the next stream. Especially with trying to come up with YouTube content. Well, that's kind of it for here. Turn those off. And drop to the ground. And then when I come back in, I should be in survival. So we'll just go ahead and back out. And you can see here, I've already renamed it. And put us in survival. And of course, yes, cheats were enabled to be able to do the tour. And another world that cheats are enabled for creative purposes. I guess I can do the same thing. Welcome back. We switched over to the creative world. Letting things load. And here is what we're building. Here's where you saw the progress on. This is something I made during a very difficult time. A very recent difficult time that has gotten better, but is not completely solved yet. And it was a way of coping and a way of distracting myself, escaping. More mushrooms. And that's why it's so important to me. That's why I had to build it in the survival world. And that's why we're going to continue, or part of the reason why we're going to continue and keep working on it. And let's see, the entrance is by the scar. Of course, I went the long way around. And this is where things changed. This wasn't part of the schematic. I did this afterwards. I wasn't done. I wanted to keep building. So I made this. And I was already planning for the water to come up to the slab, the bottom of the slabs here. Which I did. I did bury the first 2 blocks underwater. But yeah, it's just a big empty building, basically. Never really figured out what I wanted to do for it. But it wasn't really intended to be anything or, like, serve a purpose. No, that's not true. I thought about having it be a base. And having my base in the tree. But I think we'll do something else that will allow us to have more room for, like I said, the automatic storage system and some other redstone gadgets and machines. And yeah, that's the start of a bonsai tree I was doing back there a long time ago. Or it feels like a long time ago. Maybe 2 years? And for those that, I guess since we're here, just designs I was working on and testing. The water actually comes down as a waterfall inside and goes all the way around the irrigating and then goes into the pool. And just experimenting, doing different houses. And then this I'd like to do something with. Yes, I love the green roof gardens too. I was inspired by a photo I saw and wanted to do my own version, or do one in this. Yeah, I just wanted to build a castle and actually finish one for once. And I didn't quite get there. And I don't know, I mean, I could still work on this, but at this point, I think it would make more sense to use it as inspiration. This was also before the texture, the big texture update. So things don't look quite as good as they did in some areas, even though the textures are better. Your first Minecraft build had a green roof? I don't do it nearly enough. But you can see I've got the, like, huge great swords, shields. These are just more like columns or a staff or something. The towers have these skulls. Or like screaming demon faces or something. Giant flames along that wall. And just, I don't know why, I just chose to do a bunch of X's just to fill up space, basically. And then that was just kind of, I just kind of played around until I found a design I liked, and it ended up being, I don't know, either kind of like a smiling demon, or it's more like a flower. Oh, what will this place look like at night? And I can't remember if I think this may actually be kanji that I used, or I think it's more inspired by, but isn't actual characters. Like I said, I know my way around custom armor stands. Some of it's kind of simple, but this was my way of like playing around and learning how to mess with this stuff. All sorts of different vendors and guards. And so I want to start to like start incorporating like this kind of detailing into the world more, which means we're going to be making lots of armor stands. This is a grinding stone before grinding stones were in Minecraft. And then all leads to Mad King. Got guys in the shadows, and there's more up there too. Hey, many names. Doing good. We're showing off what the tree's going to look like, and I typically go, "Oh, have you seen my castle? Let me show you my castle." Never did fully furnish these, but 2 bedrooms or bed areas. You started a hardcore world? Congrats. I just kind of went on break on hardcore. A bit forcibly, but oh, nice, dude. Rock on. And there we go, saying the same thing at the same time again. I saw that after I said it, but before you heard it. I think that's... always need to turn shaders off first. It's just nicer. Nicer to your system. I think we'll just go ahead and switch over to the talking screen though. So yeah, lots of big changes. But it's the year of change for me, indeedy. Maybe it is for you too. If they're good changes, embrace them. Ooh. Awesome, many names. I have done a single biome hardcore once in what was it? It was a snowy biome that had trees and had villages. I'm not sure which one. I don't think it's Tundra, because I don't think Tundra has trees. But yeah, if any of you enjoy hardcore but want a challenge, try doing it in a single biome. You can set your difficulty by what biome you choose. So if you do one that has a village, you'll be better off than ones that don't, for instance. But there's a lot of fun challenges you can do that way, like an ocean-only biome, or an ocean-only world, or I've done desert-only a couple times. That's where we started this world from. I'd lost my desert world to an iron golem in my own base. I guess I'm going to be doing the typical spruce builds. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I love spruce. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, dark oak only. That's when I intend to... I'll go back to it. The single biome one's kind of rough, somewhat, and... I don't know. It kind of burns you out on it after a bit. Are you building Whiterun? Is that what you're saying? Are you remaking Whiterun in hardcore? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, yeah. I mean, if you got the inspiration for it, go for it. Whiterun, but different. Okay. Can't wait to see it. So yeah, if you want to post pictures of builds or anything like that, by all means, we've got a channel for you. I know I really enjoyed sharing pictures of designing the tree. It's in my Discord, and also in Havoc Tracks. I would really say Discord's worth it. Yeah. Like, it's a really, really good way to communicate with people, and it doesn't have to be the way you choose. There are other ways to do it, but you definitely want to have lanes of communication open, especially with your mod team if you're a streamer. And it's a really handy one. But I get like, oh geez, another social media platform, great. The nice thing is every Discord server you join shows up separately. You can create folders to throw them in so that you can just hide so you can kind of like compact your list. If it starts to get too big, you can mute individual servers so you're not getting pinged constantly. So there's a lot of ways that it's nice and it doesn't have to be an annoyance. But see, Cap made a Twitter just for mob and MCC votes. I've had like my original Twitch account, YouTube, and Twitter, I made like 10 years ago. So I'd been like wanting to do content creation, not necessarily streaming, it was more focused on YouTube. That was the idea, at least. I just never... I always felt like there was something in the way. And it took this long to finally do it. At one point I even, and I think I've mentioned this a few times recently, I even had bought a domain name and was starting to work on a WordPress website to act as the like center of like all of those social media platforms for the Viperius FX brand. That's right, and Didi made Twitter because of being a radio host and needing it for work. Yep, and now it's just Minecraft, Twitch, and YouTube related stuff. So yeah, individual platforms can be useful. Who? Didi? Didi does not stream. True. But Didi may be in a voice call with me on streams. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Didi will stream one day. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys, and hanging out today. And I know this is completely different than what we normally do. It's just more hanging out and talking. Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of competition. It's not a... I mean, I do get competitive with things sometimes. I don't really take it overboard, but I do get competitive sometimes. But, you know, if we're all doing good, producing good content, having good streams, then we're all doing better, right? In the end, we all can succeed. Nice. Nice. Shout out Savory, who is also one that may stream one day. I don't know. Maybe, I don't think we can talk about this exactly, Savory, on stream. But that thing that's happening later this year, you know, with that one server, maybe that would be a good time to start. Yeah, that. Well, I said it was going to be a shorter stream, and here we are already 3 hours in. You gotta head out many names? Alright. Thank you, mate. Hope you do too. But yeah, so... Oh yes, please do. Please do keep us updated. And if you get Discord, you can always come over to my About page on Twitch. And there is a link to join there. Or if you have Twitter, you can if you post stuff. But either way, would love to see as the work progresses more, or see pictures. I love seeing pictures of people's builds. Yeah, exactly. I mean, not to twist your arm too much, Savory. Oh, startup trouble. You had startup troubles too with Minecraft? I know Doodles was having a lot of trouble at first too. It can be annoying, especially if you're running a weaker if you have a weaker computer you're running it on. Minecraft used to be a joke of like, what will it run on? And it was like, haha, how like weak of a system can it run on? Can it run on a potato? But Minecraft has advanced so much since back then that now you're like, oh crap, like, will it run on this? Like, what will it run on? I have to admit, I've not watched the Last Vault videos yet. I have not caught the VODs. I didn't watch that series at all.